Okay, so today we're off to Sheffield. I'm going through to Manhattan again. Going to do another one of my trade talk videos with Steve at Manhattan. Sort of a follow-up on the last one that we did, where we were discussing the state of the motorcycle industry, retail industry, and the demise of so many dealers. So today, if everything goes to plan, we're going to talk about reasons to support your local dealer. Anyway, we're nearly there. Whichever way, we are nearly there. Right, afternoon Steve.
Hiya, alright.
Here we are again,
Yep.
back with Steve at Manhattan Motorcycles. I'd just like to say a big thank you for giving up your time.
You're welcome.
And to Paul as well for letting you give up your time for me to come through here and have a chat once more to get the take from the trade, from the other side of the counter, as we said last time. And what I wanted to do this time, Steve, if that's okay with you, is follow on a little bit from our last video when we were talking about the crisis in the industry, and every time you seem to look at your social media or you look in motorcycle news, there's another dealership shut down, or there's another chain is going under. I mean, we see the issues that KTM are having, etc. On the positive side, as you mentioned when we were having a chat, there are some of these dealers are opening up and again under new management, etc. But I wanted to move on and talk about, if we keep losing these dealers, exactly what are we going to lose? And start by, I mean, over the years, me and you've worked together for a long time. In that time, you must have seen a change in people's buying habits and their shopping habits.
I think what polarised the buying habits, from what I can tell, is COVID, not just COVID. What that seemed to do is refine and normalise online purchasing, I think. Also, I think motorcycling and cycling boomed globally.
Yeah.
And that is part of KTM's problem and the mountain bike industry worldwide. They geared up for overproduction to meet that demand and carried on overproducing. And I think, look where they are now.
Yeah.
That's not a company that's badly run in one way, because the product has demand. KTM's products have demand, and they're still selling, and the integrity is good, and the network's good. But they've made too much stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the mountain bike industry is like that as well. But that's a global thing. But I think what it did is it brought the online into normal. People stopped going out shopping. Again, we're generalising, but did it hit our industry the harder? It probably did. And I think that's where the dealers that are closing, maybe for the industry going forward, they're just too big. And that's not a criticism, because the demand was there. They could have 20 staff.
Yeah.
And the rents and the rate that goes with it, the cost to open the doors, was probably in scale. And now, for a lot of them, and particularly franchises, it's probably not. But on the converse side, we've seen, you know, some of the online accessory retailers that's got shops opening more branches.
Yeah.
So the demand's there in some areas, depends where them areas are.
I mean, yeah, I got to agree with that. I was guilty, and you probably are. We've got now, because online purchasing has become so easy, so efficient. You can order it today and it's here tomorrow. And if you don't like it, most dealers are quite. I mean, I bought things from. I've got a couple of favourite online dealers that tend to specialise in brands that you can't get in high street shops. Motor Legends, I bought from them. And when you buy from them, there's a return label in the box already. If you don't, and they have exchanged items because I've got them, they don't fit. And we've made it very easy. And we overlook sometimes the local dealer because of that. But I think that has become the way we shop now. But I do remember, I mean, I was involved in mail order 25 years ago. And I remember going way back where if you were buying something mail order, you waited 28 days for your postal order to be cashed and for it to come. So things have got a lot more efficient and a lot easier. So people's buying habits are changing. But I remember when we worked together, we used to have people that had come into Doncaster trying on helmets, etc. And then next time you saw them, they were wearing the helmet that you'd suggested was the right one. Are you seeing that?
I think the way Paul's developed this business, talking just about Manhattan, is he's got a lot of loyalty here. A lot of people love Paul because he really can procure parts that they really can't. He really can. The knowledge is incredible, the technical knowledge, mechanics and that. But we have seen it. They haven't got the bottle to maybe say it to your face. I have had one young guy ring up saying, can I come and try some helmets on so I can buy one online? To which I challenged him, as you can imagine, and asked him why he'd want to do that when we sold them. And so, we have to be trusting and open. And I think sometimes, you've got to be professional. You've got to make sure that helmet fits the helmets we're selling.
Yeah.
Because the helmets we're not selling, I really couldn't comment. And you've got to hope that service is enough. And by and large, I think we give brilliant service and it's appreciated. However, there's still those people that they cannot resist saving that money, and some are brass neck enough to expect you to give them the service, but they've made the purchase elsewhere.
Yeah.
Not many of them, and we sort of let them know indirectly that we know. And it's just one of them things that it's a bit galling, and it's not to do with age. It does happen across all the age ranges, where if people's got an issue with an online purchase, they sometimes come in here and see if we can sort it for them. Well, that's not going to keep our doors open.
No. Do you see that there's still a massive price difference between some of the online sellers and what retailers, the high street retailers, can offer? Because I seem there was a time when there was quite a big difference sometimes, especially when people were buying out of Europe. That's not as easy these days.
No.
Maybe one of the positives of Brexit.
You don't know what you're going to get charged. You don't know what you're going to get charged. We had a set of panniers, the 500 quid aluminium panniers. A lady asked, could we discount them because she can get them for this? I pointed out she'd be paying VAT on income and she'd not even considered it.
Yeah.
And I said, you can't guarantee the quality, and ours are guaranteed for 3 years.
Yeah.
Have a think about this.
Yeah.
But what you've got to remember, Mark, is that a lot of this stuff is technical. It's technical and it's complex, and it's difficult. We're not big enough to stock everything. We can't. It's not possible. We can only stock the things we believe in, and our companies that suppliers we can get 2 sizes of something we don't stock. Customer tries it on, we send the other one back.
Yeah.
They love that. We send them back safely. They don't bounce about in vans like going backwards and forwards to mail order specialists. They'll go back to the supplier. If people give us that chance, then they'll get the service and the prices. My opinion of this is, I'm on both sides. I'm consumer. I buy online. I'm here. We supply eBay and that. Our stuff's on eBay. Not everything, a lot of it. I send it out. But what you'll know and I know is, and I would say this, wouldn't I? The consumer's got all the cards. The consumer can have a refund for this size not being right, that size. The consumer can sort of almost be lazy in his choices, but the dealer's got to do the running around.
Yeah.
Everything's on the side of the consumer. The pricing. A dealer isn't allowed to price fix. It's not price fixing. It's maintaining a retail price point. So everybody gets the money. The value of the product stay up because somebody's not knocking 20% off it.
Yeah.
What you find with good brands is, a lot of brands we deal with, that they have got good dealers that respect the pricing. They respect the pricing.
Yeah.
So that we don't have somebody coming in here generally, LS2, Risha, whatever it is, saying, well, I can get that for, well, you might be able to get last year's colour at that.
Yeah.
But you can't get this year's at that.
Yeah.
And we can compete.
Yeah.
And then when we can compete, we can make our margin. Because I think people either don't work in a business where it matters or don't consider it. If you don't make profit, you shut.
And I don't think people realise how tight the margins can be.
Yeah.
Back in my day, anyway, we on parts we were working for 10-15%
Yeah.
on OE parts, and clothing 25-30%. Yeah.
Well, look at tyres.
Yeah.
Look at tyres. You know
Exactly.
tyres, 5 to 10%.
Yeah.
So I've still had people bringing tyres in.
Yeah.
We sort of know where they come from. We check them, and actually, because we give when we fit our tyres that we've supplied,
Yeah.
we include certain things like wheel weights, valves, etc.
Yeah.
We don't when somebody brings their own tyre in.
Charge for them.
And virtually on every occasion when we check the prices, they've paid more overall.
Yeah.
And we do gently let them know that.
Yeah.
And some don't like it. Yeah. But when we can't open our doors anymore and they save that £5 and bring it to be fitted, we're not there.
You're not there. And this is, you touched on the skill, and a lot of what you sell is technical, be it just the clothing side, or obviously you guys in the workshop have been trained, hands-on experience, years of experience.
Yeah.
And this is what got me around to having this conversation today, was if we're not using our local dealer, we're going to lose the guy to fit our tyre.
Yeah.
We're going to lose the guy to give us advice on when we're not quite sure on the spark plug. You order it. How many of us have ordered something online that, oh gosh, it's the wrong one, and by the time we've done, we've ordered it 3 times?
Well, we know now where the fakers hide is online.
Yeah.
We know in the trade, NGK, DID chain, trusted brands are being faked and have been faked for years.
Yeah.
And we know when somebody comes in and they ask a price of an NGK spark plug, let's just say it's 15 quid. Plugs are quite dear now, especially new bike plugs. They're all different.
Yeah.
They can be 40 quid.
Yeah.
And they'll go, well, I can get them for half that price. And we actually say to them, please, please, please be careful.
Yeah.
Because when the moment you know that plug is fake is when it's melted into your cylinder head.
Yeah.
And we're not being dramatic here. This has been happening for years.
Yeah.
Years. Yeah. Or that plug just fails, or the threads corrode. All the things that NGK never happens to them.
Yeah.
People, I don't understand why people our age that are supposed to be a bit savvy, they'll see something 30-40% cheaper of a quality brand and think, I'm in here. Don't question, hang on a minute, why is it that much cheaper? Yeah. Why? Yeah. There must be a reason. And so buying from your local dealer guarantees you've got a trail back, and you've got responsibility. We've got a gentleman in here. He's been here about the 4th time now in the last couple of months. He buys his own products. He brings them in. He's converting this certain trailer type off-roady bike that's on the road to. He's converting the wheels and the brakes. He's going fancy, and he doesn't even ask us for prices. He brings it all in himself. Every single time we've had an issue he's either ordered the wrong parts, or it's cost us a couple of hours labour. We've talked him through it at every point, and we've estimated he's paid about 6 hours labour extra over this elongated period. Yeah, he's paid about 400 quid more because he's not allowed us and our experience to source the right stuff. Yeah. He's got the wrong stuff. Yeah. He's essentially misunderstood his model.
I mean, I know that there's been, over the years, like yourself, I've visited dealers, and we've worked for dealers, and there are some dealers that get a bad reputation, there's some dealers that have an excellent reputation. But you mentioned a few minutes ago about Paul's got a really good following, a lot of really, really loyal customers, because they trust his knowledge, they trust his expertise. I've got a local dealer that I've known for years, and I need help, I'll go to him. Yeah. You know that Pete, RTT.
Because that experience.
Because he knows.
It's priceless.
Yeah. And I know I'm willing. I have a lot of contacts in the trade, and I'd rather pay somebody the going rate for a job done properly than try and find a back street or an online supplier that I don't know to save 30-40%.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, we're not getting any younger. The main motorcycle buying public, we know that. And obviously, we're wanting more and more people to come in. how they perceive motorcycling through their eyes, the TikToks and all this, I don't know. And I don't know if motorcycling is going to die a natural death. I can't imagine that. I think it's too important. And I think there's going to come a time when people might get fed up of sat in queues in £80,000 electric cars. And I think they might want to look for an alternative. But they've got to break the mould and be a bit braver amongst the peers to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether people are as individual as they used to be. Yeah. And for that reason, I think they've got to have it look cool online, wherever. Yeah. And so we're looking for the people to bring it to the masses.
We need an influencer,
to
influence the next generation or the next round of yes.
Yeah, I think so. And because I think, you know, we know what motorcycling's about. We know how exhilarating, how fantastic. And I've rode a couple of times today, new bikes. But I want to get out on my own bike. I'm dying to get out on my own bike. I'm jealous you've come on yours. It's colder in here than it is outside. But,
yeah.
You know, because after 45 years, I still get excited riding a motorcycle. Now, I don't know how we distill that and pass it to the younger generation. And I don't know if it matters to them anymore. I don't know. I think things that excite them are things online that are a bit... I used to say celebrities used to be good at stuff. I don't know if they are anymore. I think you can get famous for not doing much.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we're both into live music and that. And back in the day, if a band got good, they did it the hard way, by working the stage and the small venues and moving it to big venues.
Exactly.
These days, kids think they can get instant success by joining a boy band or a girl band or whatever.
Yeah.
And but no, I hope there is a future. I think as an industry, we've got to embrace the old ways and the new ways, but it's very important not to lose that expertise, that pool of knowledge, which is, I suppose, coming round to conclude, really, it's the reason for this conversation today was me getting thinking about, you know, what's happened out there with dealers, etc., closing down. And the reality is, like a lot of things on the high street, but very much when it comes to motorcycling, if you don't use it, you are going to lose it. And that's the message I wanted to try and get across, is the knowledge, and it's knowledge that can't be learnt overnight. You can't read it in a book. You mentioned YouTube. Yeah, we all watch YouTube for help and advice on doing things. But unless you've got somebody that's been hands-on for years, that knows, you know, we know mechanics that were fixing British bikes and then moved on to Japanese bikes.
We've got one here that can fix a lot.
And what they, you know, you take them a problem and they just look at it and go, oh yeah, and it's sorted.
Yeah.
You know, whereas you could watch a million YouTube videos.
Well, that costs money, and he's got the tools.
Yeah.
He's got that special tool that I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't say often enough, is motorcycling away from the glitz and the glamour and the nice helmets and that, it's a mechanical thing that needs looking after.
Yeah.
And if we want that dealer to survive, we can't have every tiny bit of business. You might see a bargain helmet at the show.
Yeah.
And fine. That's not going to send them down the pan. But coming and saying, can you get me this? Can you get me that? And we do get that a lot here. I have to say we do. But unless the motorcycle shop is treated with that respect and that sensibility, that means, you know, we don't all want things doing in the depths of winter. But actually, you know, you could bring your bike in. We could come and pick it up. Not just us, anybody.
Yeah.
Because everybody tries to get the bike done. You know what it's like. In a couple of weeks' time, the sun will come out and we will not be able to cope because everybody... Well, you can't do it this Friday. Well,
an amazing little
400th person to ask us, you know.
It'll be batteries, tyres that have suddenly gone bald over the winter period,
the fuel,
MOTs, your fuel's gone off, etc., etc. Yeah. So, I'm basically to wind up and summarise.
Yeah, I think
look after your dealer.
You've got to do that more than ever now, because if people are still going to stay in their online bubble when they've seen what's happened in the last year in other leisure industries as well, if they really think that things aren't changing, well, then they really are changing. And when you've got these long-standing family dealers that's been around 80 years and have been run absolutely soundly, they've decided that that's it, really, we're done.
Yeah.
Then people have to understand that, you know, you've got to get out there and do it. If you want to save 5, 10, 15 quid online and take it out of that dealer's hand, then that dealer can't fit that £10 cheaper part.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, as long as the dealers like us are fair with you, and as long as they're equitable and explain everything properly, then the money you're paying is for the accumulated experience over 50 years.
And that's what I wanted to make. It's not.
I hope that's got some value nowadays. It should have.
That mechanic that you've got in your workshop, the experience he's got, you can't buy. But if you don't use it, you will lose it.
Yeah.
And don't know about you and me, I find it hard work fitting tyres these days.
No, I know, and I wouldn't want Quick Fit to fit them, with no disrespect to Quick Fit.
Exactly.
I want a motorcycle guy to fit my motorcycle tyre.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Steve.
Welcome.
That's, yeah. It's been a pleasure once more.
You're welcome.
And, yeah, hopefully we'll do a few more.
We'll fix it.
We'll fix it. Steve can fix it. No, let's not go there.